if you're still, as you say, you're just experiencing, just being conscious, will it happen?
It's always going to happen because it's what you are. So it's always at some point.
What is stopping it?
Seeking. I mean, fall in love with your seeking. Like, fall in love with what you're seeking for. Like, admit it. Like, we're often ashamed of what we're seeking for. It's there was a lady I was speaking to recently who was very poor, and she was so ashamed to just seek for money. Like, that was a really bad thing. But, I mean, it's beautiful, money. I mean, not always the way that people's attitude towards it, but money is a trading system. It's like, instead of me giving you a bag of rice for your fruit, I can give you money and you can then spend it on whatever you want. It's just a trading system. And so, to me, she suffers so much and trying not to seek, feeling unworthy because of money and all these issues around money. And to me, it's all she has to do is fall in love with money, and when she falls in love with it, it will disappear. Like the money will come, and that seeking will disappear, and it will just become the natural flow of the body to go for money. But a lot of the time we're denying it, and we think we're unworthy of it, of whatever we're seeking for. So if you're seeking for, so say with a partner, you want a partner or a husband or children, like, there's always these other stories on top that are in denial of what it is you want. You think you can't have it, or it won't happen for you, or they'll leave you, or they won't be good enough, or they snore, or they they do all these things that that will mean that it doesn't work between you two. And all you need to do is just love that urge, like that's what you want. And then in a way that turns into presence. I know that sounds weird, but it's just basically losing that belief that love comes in the future, for a future event. It's like really loving whatever's here now, that what you seek for comes in a future event. So let me give an example. I think the money is the best one to give an example of. So say if there's something in you that wants money and wants to enjoy your job, and you're not really conscious of it, and you've been unconscious of it, and your parents have trained you by fear. So your parents have trained you that you have to do this or you have to do that, and if you don't, then you're going to be kicked out on the street, you're going to be homeless, and everything's going to be wrong, and it's going to be dark, and it's going to be bad. So it's every time you think about getting money or a particular job, there's always fear involved. You always fear it, and it's always uncomfortable. And there's always this agitation around everything, like you're seeking around it. Like you either want to avoid it and never work again, or you want to work all the hours of the day to get the money, and you keep checking the bank account. So there's either these two reactions to it. And I think that all comes from a seeking energy, from a separate energy. I think your natural flow, when there is no you that's making it happen, is your natural flow will provide you with enough. Like your natural flow will want to express your talents, what you're good at, what you can offer society, and will want to trade with society. And it's like you just have to fall in love with what you have. And when you're in that natural flow, you're not trying to get somewhere else. You're not trying to get to the future or get away from the past. So it's just loving. So say now, if everybody thinks about money, so if you think about what you feel of money, so say you think that money's dirty, of course money's always going to stay away from you. If you think money's a bad thing, of course you're always going to have problems with money. There's always going to be, even if you think money's a bad thing, even if you become super rich, that's going to be a painful experience. It's always going to be painful when you're trading with money, and that's something you're doing all the time. And then you believe it's your money, and then you seek to try to avoid those situations. And all you need to do is love it. Like, it's so beautiful. Every time you give somebody money, you're encouraging their survival. Like, every time you buy for something, you're giving somebody else money, which encourages their survival. It's like giving grains of rice. It's like feeding somebody. It's such a beautiful exchange. It's so beautiful. When you fear it, when you think it's bad, then the seeking gets involved. When you love something, seeking disappears, because all you ever wanted was love. All anyone ever wanted was love. And you're allowed to love. You're allowed to love everything. There's nothing that you have to avoid. Like, say taxes. Say you think the taxes are really like the big bad. Taxes is a really beautiful idea. We have all these relationships to it. We say your parents are authority figures. You have all these relationships where you think authority figures are bad because they hurt me when I was younger, and then you feel that pain when you're in front of an authority figure, and you feel like this tightness and this discomfort, and then you seek to get away from that discomfort. You just need to love them. It just comes with awareness. Like, so you're in front of an authority figure, and rather than trying to create an argument or do your natural thing of running away or going close or trying to please, just acknowledge it and see it for what it is, and love. Authority figures have always played an important part in our society, and thank God there's people that put some boundaries in.
We're all here for the mountain, and we're here stuck. No going back, no going forward.
That's what you think is happening, and that's what your story tells you. And from my experience, that will be the same way you felt in the rest of your life. So when you were in a marriage, you'll have felt stuck. With your parents, you'll have felt stuck. It's a habit. So then you come here and you equally feel stuck, and you believe it's true. So you don't actually confront the energy. You think that Lisa needs to say something about something in order to make it better, but it's actually just an illusion that's appearing. You are not stuck. You're totally free. No. There's nothing that's ever been stuck. It's an imagination that comes with a feeling of like, and then the body tightens up. So one thing you could do, an exercise you could play with yourself on, is loving being stuck. Like putting nice images with it. Like enjoying it, like imagining funny images of being stuck. Like being stuck in the mud. I remember me and my brother when we were like 5 or 6 or 7 years old. And my mum and dad always had a caravan. Like we went on holiday. Do you have that in India? No. In Europe it can be quite popular. You go to a different country and you have a little moving house, and then you set up the house. And they always used to go to this place in some place called Bognor Regis in England. And it really did seem to have very boggy land. I don't know if that's why it got its name for that, or it's just a coincidence. But me and my brother always used to go and get stuck in the bog. And the game was obviously to get stuck in the bog and then like try to get out of the bog. But we never really admitted that to each other. We were all like, no, the bog's terrible, we don't want to go in there. And then we'd get stuck and we'd have great joy trying to get out of the bog, like our wellies.
What's a bog?
Oh, bog is like mushy land. Like, you know, your feet sink in it. And we'd get stuck, and then like.
The camera's not working. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's okay. And then you know, our Wellingtons our boots would get stuck in, and then we'd have to pull them out, and then we'd get planks of wood, and we'd have to like lay on the wood and crawl along. And like, why did we ever go to the bog? Because we wanted to get stuck. We wanted that joy. Like, there was many other places we could have played, but we always went to the bog. We always did it every day, or every other day, and then our mum would be like, look at the pair of you. Always. The same with me and my friend. There was this like little river behind us. We always managed to fall in the river. Like, there was always something with the river and saving and trying to get out. And really, we were loving it the whole time. It's the same with this game. It's just we forget that.
We've grown up.
Yeah, we've grown up, and now we took it seriously. And we got all serious about it. And we're like, oh, I'm really stuck. This time I'm really stuck. How can I get out of it? It's an illusion. It's easy for me to say though, because it makes it feel so real, because it feels like feelings in the body. It like pulses through and you really feel like you're stuck and uncomfortable and you want to get out of it. But it's just letting it be there, letting it be there. And you can love it. You can enjoy this great game of like going to teachers. I mean, what else would you do? You'd be sitting there, you know, watching YouTube. Like, like you can go to teachers, you can enjoy it, you can enjoy asking the questions, you can enjoy walking down the stairs. One of the things I loved about going to see Ramesh was the elevator. The elevator had a song in it. I can't even, and the smell, that cleaning product they use in India, I love that. Like I'd go in there, and the guy would come, like he'd have your backpack on, and then he would say he has to, you know, put you in the elevator. You couldn't go in there yourself, so then you'd like stand in, and then he would lock you in the elevator. And then you'd go up, and I always loved going to the toilet at Ramesh's as well. Like the sounds and getting a glass of water. There's nothing not to love. It's all in the detail. God is in the detail. I loved the crows outside his window. He used to have lots of crows. He was on the top floor, and the wind and the crows. The smells. I love getting the taxi there. You are never stuck, because who would be stuck? Who? It's all in the mind. It just feels real. And this is what the Buddha did under the Bodhi tree. Maya presented heaven and hell, and it presented it through feelings, through emotions, through sensations, through ideas.